Good evening, everyone. My name is Dana Solani Chaparro Rico. I am a student in the Bachelor degree in Foreign Language with an emphasis on English at UNAT. And during my pedagogical practice, I worked with four primary students in an English classroom context at A1 and A2 level. The classroom sitting along with me to observe different challenges related to oral communication in English. Although students have previous exposure to vocabulary and grammatical structure, many of them show difficulties when speaking. They often are using isolated words instead of complete sentence, demonstrating hesitation, dependency on real support, and a better oral participation because they were afraid of making mistakes. The students will be between 9 and 10 years old and had approximately 2 or 3 years of exposure to English. One of the most important characteristics I identified was that their receiving abilities were stronger than their productive skills. In other words, many students could understand basic instructions and vocabulary, but they struggled to spread ideas orally with confidence. Based on the situation, I designed my research purpose into the impact of structured mini-speaking routine on speaking confidence and sentence production in A1 and A2 for grade primary students. Okay, now the general objective of the research was to analyze the impact of the structured mini-speaking routines on student speaking confidence and sentence production during pedagogical practice. Additionally, the specific objectives focus on identifying challenges in oral participation, evaluating the use of complete sentence instead of isolated words, and examining indicators of speaking confidence such as voice projection, willing to participate, and reduce hesitation. Okay, to support this research process, I conduct a bibliographic review that helped me understand theoretical and pedagogical foundation of speaking development in young learnings. One of the main authors considered was Lev Vygotsky and his theory about social interaction and the sum of proximal development. His perspective was very important because it explained that students learn through guide interaction and collaborative support. This idea connected directly with the many speaking routines implemented in the class. Science students practice language through structured interaction with their classmates and teacher guidance. Another important author was Stephen Krashen and his affective filter hypothesis. This theory explains that emotions such as anxiety, fear, and low confidence can negatively affect language acquisition. This was especially relevant in my classroom because many students were afraid of speaking English publicly, and therefore creating, predicting, and supporting speaking activities became essential to reduce pressure and increase participation. I also consider Jeremy Harman's contribution about communicating language teaching, which emphasized the importance of meaningful opportunities for oral production in the classroom. In addition, a review with recent students relate to speaking anxiety, motivation, confidence, and communicative activity in the context. These studies these students confirmed that structure and low intensity speaking can positively influence students' oral participation and confidence. Regarding the implementation process, the research was developed during approximately 20 hours of pedagogical practice. I integrated mini speaking routines into each English lesson for about 5 to 10 minutes. The activity followed four stages. First, our own activity where students answer simple oral questions related to the topic. Second, the presentation stage where introduce sentence frame to support oral production. Third, guided practice to pair word repetition exercise, speaking cards, and short dialogues. And finally, a production stage where students participate in role plays, chat conversation, or voluntary oral participation. Some of the activities implemented include personal information and mini speaking, and videos, and weird workshops combined with oral interaction and body parts activity use total physical response and speaking exercise. To collect the information, I use a field diaries, observation checklists, worksheets, show audience samples, and participation records. Through this instrument, I observed that students readily increased the oral participation and confidence. Some students began producing short complex sentences, while others still depended on isolated words, and however, overall, the routines helped create a more comfortable environment for speaking English. Finally, this research experience allowed me to understand the importance of creating, supporting, and structured opportunities for oral communication in primary education. More than teaching vocabulary or grammar, I learned that students need confidence, repetition, guidance, and safe space where they capable of expressing themselves in English without fear. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.